A king sits on his throne. An entire nation bows at his feet. 18 years of silence, of suffering, of shame. But God heard their cry, and he sent one man, a man with a secret. This is the story of Ehud Ben Gera, not the story most people remember, but few stories reveal this age more clearly. An age of chaos, of cycles, of a people repeatedly losing their way. In this story, deliverance didn't come from an army, but from a hidden blade. Not long after the death of Joshua, the great leader who had brought Israel into the Promised Land, a new generation arose, a generation that had never seen the Red Sea parted, never watched the walls of Jericho collapse. They did not know what their fathers had known, and slowly they drifted. They turned to the gods of the nations around them, the Baals and the Asherahs, and the God of Israel gave them over to the consequences of their rebellion. Then came Eglon, king of Moab. He gathered the Ammonites and the Amalekites. He invaded the land, and he seized Jericho, the city of palms. For 18 years, Israel lived under his rule, 18 years of tribute, of humiliation, of fear. Then, Israel cried out to the Lord, and once again, God raised up a deliverer. His name was Ehud Ben Gera. Israel sent a tribute to King Eglon, and Ehud led the delegation. But Ehud brought something extra. He had crafted a short, double-edged sword and strapped it to his right thigh, hidden beneath his garments. Ehud was left-handed. In a world where every warrior carried his blade on the left side, no one thought to search the right. The delegation presented the tribute. Eglon, pleased, received their offering and dismissed them. The delegation turned and began the journey home. But Ehud turned back. He approached the king alone and spoke quietly. "I have a secret message for you, Your Majesty." Eglon leaned closer, curious, expecting a private revelation. He ordered every servant out of the room. They were alone. "Stand up," said Ehud. "I have a word from God for you." Eglon rose from his seat, and then, in a single motion, Ehud reached across with his left hand, drew the sword from his right thigh, and drove it into the king's belly. Eglon was an enormous man. The blade vanished into his body, handle and all. Ehud left. He locked the doors behind him. The servants returned and found the doors shut and bolted. They assumed their king was using the toilet. They waited and waited, until waiting became unease, and unease became fear. They unlocked the doors and found their king dead on the floor. By then, Ehud was already gone. He escaped into the hill country of Ephraim, and there he blew the shofar. Across the hills of Israel, the people gathered to him. Then Ehud spoke, "Follow me, for the Lord has delivered Moab into your hands." And Israel rose. They seized the crossings of the Jordan, cutting off the Moabites where they stood. That day, 10,000 Moabite warriors fell, strong men, able men. Not one escaped. Moab was broken beneath Israel, and for 80 years, the land had rest. This is not just an ancient story. It is the story of a people who lost their way and cried out for mercy, and of a God who still heard them. But it is also the story of the man God chose to send. Not the strongest man, not the most famous. And yet, he was the one who changed the course of history. If this story moved you, if you want to go deeper into the ancient, dramatic, and faithfully preserved stories of the Bible, subscribe to this channel. Every story is told with reverence for the original text and deep respect for the people who lived it. The Bible has never been just a book. It has always been alive. We'll see you in the next story.